If the Supreme Court does strike down Roe, abortion rights would become a state-by-state issue. Local lawmakers could easily restrict access or outright ban abortion. Were Roe overturned today, and NBC News analysis from the Center of Reproductive Rights data shows at least 20 states would be set to ban abortions, the one on this map in blue. 13 of them have what are known as trigger laws on the books, meaning the overturn of Roe would trigger state laws that would almost immediately forbid abortions. The states in green have restrictions on abortion in place right now, and the states shown here in yellow have protected abortion rights through state laws and court rulings. In the yellow states, abortions are legal and will remain legal. And then there's New Mexico and New Hampshire. There, abortions would remain accessible but not protected by state law. So confusion. And abortion rights could soon be very different depending on where you live. In a moment, reporting from Garrett Hake in Austin, Texas, on one of the states with those trigger laws. First, CNBC's Perry Russom in Chicago on where individual states stand now.
As conservative justices started filling the Supreme Court, states began passing new abortion laws, preparing for a possible strikedown of Roe v. Wade.
We'll continue fighting for the unborn lives in our great state.
In Alabama, lawmakers passed a near-total ban on abortions. In Kentucky and Florida, bills have been signed banning abortions after 15 weeks.
We want these kids to grow up in loving homes.
In Ohio,
we really value human life.
Governor Mike DeWine signed the heartbeat bill in 2019. It makes abortion illegal after the first detectable fetal heartbeat. It only goes into effect if Roe is overturned.
I think we're going to look and see if there are other laws or other changes that we would want to make.
Across the country, states are split by ideology, with leaders in Democratic states pushing to make their own moves.
The state of New York will always be there for anyone who needs reproductive health care, including an abortion.
In Connecticut, a new abortion rights bill is headed to the governor's desk. Right now, only doctors can perform an abortion. When the bill becomes law, advanced practice registered nurses, nurse midwives, and physician assistants will be added to the list.
We're going to fight to protect a woman's right to choose.
In Illinois, Governor J.B. Pritzker calls the state a safe haven for reproductive rights.
If they can reverse 50 years of settled law, then every Supreme Court decision that has made this country freer and fairer can be reversed by this court.
Illinois finds itself in a situation where it will be nearly surrounded by states that have some type of restriction, and state leaders say they welcome anybody who has to come here to get an abortion. Now, just a few hours ago in Oklahoma, Governor Kevin Stitt signed a new bill making it illegal to get an abortion after 6 weeks. Last month, he signed a bill making it a felony to give an abortion, so now it will be illegal to give an abortion and get an abortion in the state of Oklahoma. Shep.